Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology coach, and personalized learning coordinator for my district.
And I'm the producer that she married, so she wouldn't have to pay for a producer. And my name's Fuzz.
Yay!
And we both had the same last name.
We do.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is exciting.
Episode 20.
Yeah.
20.
It's going by quickly.
It's going very quickly. Yeah.
Just like the school year.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
1 month left for you.
May, yeah.
As of the time this publishes, there will be exactly 1 month left of your school.
1 month and a day.
There will be exactly 1 month and a day left of your school.
Actually, it's a half day. So
there will be
1 month and one half day left of school. Yay.
5. No, that's not right.
Not even close. But anyway, we're not mathing. We're podcasting.
And this episode is not about math, so that's okay.
It's about fun things. I was trying to think of like a real description. Like, these sites are going to help enhance your sharing ability and information. They're going to enhance learning in your classroom. But basically, they're just fun sites to play around on, and you can apply them in many, and we'll talk about ways to actually apply them in real world situations. Not real world. Well, yes, real world situations and like classroom real world situations, not just playing around on your laptop on a Saturday morning.
But also that.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Before we get into that, let's talk about Adobe Creates My Creative Type test.
Geez. Yes.
Which I took this morning. So I work at an advertising agency, and
with a bunch of creatives.
We have a bunch of creatives. I used to be a copywriter. I'm now more of a business guy, and so I just wanted to see. And so this was posted on our agency's. We have an internal Facebook group that we use, and we had it was so interesting to see how the different types of designers and different
because it's like basically a personality quiz to figure out if you're creative. And actually, I'm going to interject really quickly here. When like we're creating personalized learning plans for students, we give them not lots, but we give them a handful or give them options for filling in personality surveys to kind of get to know their learning styles and get to know just they know their interests, but maybe there's other things that they might, like leadership skills and stuff that they don't even know they have. So we fill in several surveys, or we kind of take them ourselves to kind of just explore and say, hey, well, just because I do this one way doesn't mean that I can't think other ways. So this would be a great tool for even you to use with your students. Besides, as a teacher, it's fun to take these quizzes, but for a student, it would be cool to see that you can be creative in more than one way.
Absolutely. And for me, just even being like, we have a bunch of designers, and I know they're all different, unique, and
individual souls.
They're individual souls. But also, I was surprised to see how many of them were different. And also people who I thought, who typically have the same kind of, when we take personality tests kind of things at work.
You guys do this a lot.
We do. I mean, it's
just for fun. Everyone's like, hey, what are you? What are you?
Not even just for fun. We do it. We do it for actual business. In fact, there's some things that we're looking at implementing for hiring in order to help keep culture the way it's supposed to be and things like that. But it was very interesting to see how the mycreativetype.com test, which is from Adobe,
it's really like mycreative.com.
It's mycreativetype.com.
Okay.
I got adventurer, and I got
visionary.
That's cool.
I wish I had the description of them. Like, you lose the description once you like close out of it.
Yeah. There actually there is a link down the bottom called the types. So
look them back up.
The by the way, all of the faces that they have on here are nightmare fuel. They're super. They're kind of cool. But the visionary looks like a cactus with 5 eyes,
Cool.
Full of big ideas, ability to see the potential and possibility everywhere. Those are your creative strengths.
Fun.
Your untapped potential is using your visions to fuel consistent daily action. And your ideal collaborator is the thinker.
That's fun.
Which is not me.
No. What's funny, though, is oftentimes we should point out that when you and I take personality tests, we usually have the same score or the same...
Well, so I'm going to share a little bit too much personal information.
You can. Are you going to read what your thing is first? No? Okay.
I'll do that after I read. I'll read my... I'll do this after I tell this. Shanna and I met on eharmony.com.
Woo! Talk about techie geeks.
Almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It'll be 10 years ago this December.
Mm-hmm. So it's like 9 years ago and a half. But that's fine.
Yeah. So almost. That's how almost works, Shanna. But they did the personality test to match you up. That was why it cost more than the others.
Hey, but the personality test was actually pretty accurate. And then we had to fill out a thing. And then I had to pick about what kind of peanut butter and jelly sandwich I liked. And then you agreed that good bread is the key to any kind of sandwich.
Yes, but also use a spoon for your jelly.
I put a spoon for my jelly. And you have to put peanut butter on both sides of the bread so the jelly doesn't leak through. But anyway.
So I'm the adventurer. The tagline under adventure is so much inspiration, so little time. And the tagline under yours for the visionary is... imagining the impossible. But for me, my creative strengths are high levels of creative energy, spirit of curiosity and play. Untapped potential is committing yourself to developing one particular skill or project, which
that's
that's pretty spot on. And my ideal collaborator,
every 3 months there's a new hobby.
Is the artist. Cool. By the way, it has fueled by, and this is the only one that I've seen that has it in bold, high energy levels and boundless enthusiasm.
And Red Bull.
Yeah, well, I drink lots of coffee and pre-workout before I go to the gym. So, also for mine, the adventurer is a kind of near and dear to me because the character is this big furry dude. So here, I don't know if you can see because I've got my...
I can see with your screen covery thing.
Yeah, I'm going to... Please don't look at my computer screen cover on it.
Yeah, when you're on the airplane and people are looking at you. Anyway, so now that we've spent ample time talking about... So it's
mycreativetype.com and Shanna can share it on the social media platforms and you can post what your...
Yeah, and then share what your... what you are.
Creative type?
Thank you. What your creative type is. That'd be fun. Because a lot of your fun people from work are the same as me, which is fun. So now I can go skip through your office and be like, I'm a visionary too. And they're going to say you're okay,
they'll hug you and...
No, they won't. They'll just accept it and let me run.
There was only one other adventurer on my team that I saw so far.
So far. Mm-hmm. Not everyone's taken it yet. And now after we do the podcast, there might be a whole lot of adventurers on your...
That's true.
On your team. We'll see.
Well, let's get along with this adventure.
Cool. So we haven't even talked about the actual sites we're talking about today. So we're talking about Animaker.
Okay. And
AutoDraw. Because they're both fun sites and there's a billion ways to use them. Mm-hmm. So let's focus on Animaker. You sign yourself up per usual. And create your account. And then, holy cow, if you've never tried Animaker with your students, it is so much fun to have them create their own talking cartoons. Well, I guess it's not always talking. There's music and stuff. They make little videos that are cartoons. Mm-hmm. So you pick new and you have its usual choices where you can save and not save and all that kind of stuff. So click on create a video. And you can click free, which is really nice. I always appreciate that there's a plan or there's free or there's premium. And when you're a teacher and you're using the free account, you click free. So then you only have access to the free stuff. Same with your students. So then they don't start clicking through things that they aren't going to pay for. And then you just pick one of the backgrounds you want. If you look down, you have options on this one where you can do more of a whiteboard type thing. Or you can do even infographics, but it's all animated. So you click on whichever screen you want to try and then use that as the background, and from there then you can just pick your cartoon. So on the left hand side then you can work through, you can pick your cartoon you want to use, or you can use the the format that's already put in for you. You can change the text. You can change like each cartoon. Once you pick it, then they have different actions. So you can pick like the little girl that's in there, and then she can jump rope, she can skip, she can be an astronaut, she can be, I don't know if there's an astronaut,
she can be whatever she wants to be, Shanna.
She can. But there's so many different choices, which is really cool because then it's already animated for you. There's not like that part of the work in there. You can type your text in, and then you can go through and you can change backgrounds, and you can add numbers, and you can add statistics, which is to me always nice if kids are doing, like if you're having pull data on anything, and you can drop it right in.
Can they upload voiceovers?
They can. So you don't even have to you can upload it. You can upload your own files, but you can record right into there, which is really nice. Because then there's not like a second step. I mean, you can upload your own pictures and everything too, but it's just kind of nice when you can, as a kid, just click on it and then talk into it, and then it plays for you.
Yeah. That's cool.
So
I see they've got all different styles. They've got, like, you can do whiteboard stuff, you can do infographics, and you can do 2D stuff and typography kind of things.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cool things that you can do. And then from there, what's nice is that you're able to like preview it as many times as you need to, because I know the kids like to play them for each other and all kind of stuff. And then my computer's moving really slow today, and so I'm staring.
Did I see that it has a Flash plugin? And that
it does.
It's running on Flash?
Yes.
Wow. Cool.
Yes. And so from there, what is cool too is I'm like backstepping for a second. They do have tutorials for each one, so you don't have to explain to your students how to do it. You can click, I want to do a 2D or an infographic or whiteboard, and they have a little cartoon that teaches you how to use it. So even that's nice for if your kids aren't there the day and you need like a kid's absent or something, or they want to play around in it, and you're just gonna, hey, go try this site out. They can do it without a bunch of extra directions because it's all set up for them. But yeah, so you can create whiteboard infographics. You can add your people in. You can add like transitions between slides. But also what I like about it is on the bottom, it's laid out where you've got 3 different bars. And if you've used like WeVideo before, where you have the different sections, you can adjust between scenes, and then you can pick and you can layer over your sound effects, because they have a sound effects, they have choices, not just music, but you can do sound effects with your voiceovers. And so you can layer your sounds and you can layer your pictures and stuff within your slides, which is really nice when you're creating the videos. But you can use it from like regular presenting, statistics and kids doing their research sharing, but you can also tell stories with it, which I think is really cool. If you have characters going through, and then you can have your kids type their text in, and then they can voice over, and they can actually like tell a story using Animaker, and it'll make a video, but it'll be their story as well.
Sure.
You'll see a super fun example of one of those, because our daughter this morning, while I was show prepping, wanted to know what I was doing. And she's just about 4. And she created an Animaker video this morning.
It was pretty adorable.
She wanted to make a story. So while we were kind of working, and she was typing as I was like telling her what letters to type. She wanted to do a voiceover with it. So it doesn't exactly all match up, but it is made by our 4-year-old this morning because she wanted to play around in it while I was taking screenshots and stuff for the show. So
that works.
It is useful for any age level. I think
it's useful if you want to keep your kids busy while you're doing chores.
Keep your kids busy. If you want to engage your students in a new topic and you want to try and share some information with them, it would be a super cool way to introduce some information or some storytelling stuff with your kids. But yeah, with like the videos and it's just fun to create, and there's so many options with it, and it's very user friendly. You can pick and choose, from fonts to people to characters to backgrounds, and then you can upload all of your own stuff, which is just fun. And I always like having that option to enter your own information. So Animaker, try it out. It's super fun and cool, and you can play around with it for fun, or you can actually assign your kids work at the end of the year in Animaker, and I think they would be highly engaged and very excited to play around with it and to create some stuff. So
awesome.
Animaker, try it, use it.
It's fun.
play around with it. Boom. Fun thing.
Boom.
Number 2, technically, since you decided that our...
Well, that was just a little anecdote, you know? It wasn't a tool.
But it's more just fun. It's fun for adults.
It can be a tool, but really it's more of like a BuzzFeed game.
Yeah, it is. Cool.
Awesome.
Second one is AutoDraw.
And you've been playing with that all night?
Not all night. I just drew... Okay, so you go to AutoDraw.com. There is no directions.
Let's say you're a bad drawer.
Nothing. Let's say that you are maybe not the most creative person and you struggle with drawings and maybe you like to play Pictionary and you are not capable. By the way, this makes an awesome Pictionary game, just so you know.
Oh, I bet.
You can totally, like, this is just an online thing, but you can, I'll talk about the game part in a minute. Okay, so you just go to AutoDraw and it gives you a blank piece of paper and there's just stuff on the left-hand side of the screen. And you're like, okay, what do I do with the stuff? Because it doesn't give you any directions.
And it says just
nothing. It says nothing.
Do your thing.
You click on the little magic starred pencil. Don't click on the regular pencil. Click on the starred pencil. That says AutoDraw. Draw a squiggly line. And then across the top of the screen, it says, do you mean, hey, your squiggly line looks exactly like a stethoscope.
Oh, I got the Batman logo.
Thanks. Earlier I was doodling and I got a sleeping bag and then I got a bat.
I have a bat and I have a piece of toast and I've got a baguette and a mustache.
That's amazing. And then you can click select. So the little like arrows in the top, you can click it, it highlights it, and then you can actually expand it, make it bigger or smaller or delete it if you want to, if you don't agree with what they think that your drawing is.
Yeah.
There is the regular pencil where those of you that are very skilled at drawing can actually just sketch. There is a type where you can actually type letters into it and words into it and just like leave little messages. There is a fill button where you can, obviously fill things. Shapes. So if you want to make like a square within your super cool drawing that you made with a sleeping bag and a bat before, you can add those pictures. And there's a zoom and there's an undo and...
Yeah, this is pretty slick. Like something that you could get in trouble for playing too long.
Like you can just sit there and play around with forever. So that's why it's kind of fun for kids. But
I'm sorry, were you talking? I was busy.
You've been busy drawing. Yes, I have a bat and a stethoscope and a squiggle. But what's really cool about AutoDraw is that while it really is just like a doodling board, it's fun to play Pictionary. Like if you are reined inside or you want the kids to be engaged just playing around with something, and they can play a Pictionary game with it where like they can draw squiggles and then take random guesses at what they think it might be and then see what AutoDraw picks for you. Or you could the kids can make up a game based on AutoDraw with their own rules and just practice those types of skills, kind of like team building and stuff like that. There's just play around with it.
I just drew Harry Potter.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice. What you can do is the 3 lines in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. You just click download, and once you do have your drawing done, you can download it, and then you could use it. It's a PNG file, so then you can upload it wherever you want to. So
drop it in your presentation.
You could, yeah. So if you really are like a struggling artist, or like you need to sketch something and you are not great at it, you can use AutoDraw, and then you can use that file wherever you need to. So you could actually use it for, like presentations or like diagrams or any kind of that stuff. You can also use it for, or sometimes you need to like outline shapes for things. You can use AutoDraw to do that too. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So AutoDraw, it's super fun to play around with. Academically, you could incorporate it for other things, but my biggest thing is you could totally make like a fun game of Pictionary with the kids, and they could play around with it.
Do you remember when we played Pictionary with your dad?
Oh my gosh!
And he and I were on a team together.
It was great.
I forget what game it was. It wasn't Pictionary. It was close.
It was categories.
Yeah, it was one of those where like you have teammate and you have to draw and they have to guess. And I draw a beautiful picture of somebody.
Yes, because you are a fairly good. You're a fairly good artist.
And I drew a nice photo of somebody applying nail polish to a finger.
It was a sketch with a piece of like with a golf pencil and a little notepad.
Yep. But you knew what it was, and your mom knew what it was.
Yes, and my mom and I were on a team just giggling.
Nail paint.
It was amazing.
Fingernail polish.
And we were all dying because it was fingernail polish, but he said nail paint, and we said that didn't count, and so you guys didn't get the points.
Yeah.
And my poor dad still hears about nail paint, and that was like 3 years ago.
It was. Hey, real quick before we sign off, I want to give a shout out to. So I was at a conference for writers in the turf industry, which
screams EdTech.
It does scream EdTech. And while I was there was a speaker named Ren Laforme. It's either Laforme or Laforma, and I apologize if I said his last name wrong, but his first name is Ren. He's from pointer.org, and he did a presentation on tech tools for business that was
cool.
They mentioned like Infogram and Canva,
things we talk about,
and a bunch of the different things that we talk about. And but it was very interesting. There were a bunch of other things that he talked about that for business and for publishing that we haven't talked about, but certainly could be used in the classroom. So we may talk about a few of those in a few episodes and how you can use them. And some of them are free that you could use in your classroom. So it's kind of cool.
What I like is like the interchangeability with the stuff that we do talk about. Like, yes, we always talk about, we put the EdTech spin on it, but you could use these for anything. So what's cool is if the kids are learning these skills, they can use it outside of the classroom, which is important.
Like Animaker, when you go there, their blog is all about like how to use these animations for, like you can use them on the business side for creating vertical videos to use as Instagram ads, or you can use them for helping increase traffic or increase conversions on your website to get more people to buy stuff that you're selling.
So we start selling stuff.
But if your students are learning these things and learning how to use them now, when they get out into the marketing world, if that's something that they end up doing, they'll have that kind of background and experience, or even just if they're going to education themselves and
even things like hotel management and like anything that where you're like HR, like any of that kind of stuff, like you're going to be needing tools like this. So
exactly.
Cool.
It's cool stuff.
Yay. Well, that's fun.
There we go. Episode 20. All done.
Woohoo. Well,
you
thanks.
just looked at me like 20.
20. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Turn around.
I don't even know. All right. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter at SmartInWI. And if you ever want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed on this episode, you can visit smartinwi.com. New episodes each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed in this podcast and the Smart NWI website are those of the author Shanna Martin and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies we talked about today, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast does not offer any guarantee that these tools will work for you as we've described them to, but it is our hope, sincerely, that they do. We will talk to you next week. Episode number 21 coming up. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.